Hey everybody, Kaden Martinson here with Leading Edge Equipment. Today we got a 800R floater with an AB30 box behind us. We're at Tronson Grain where they've been generous enough to help us and a few customers do some CFR calibrations for the machines. We got the machine pulling in underneath right now. We're gonna dump the fertilizer, in this case urea, then we'll get in the cab, we'll do some of the step through as to how that goes. We'll dump it in the pit, we'll weigh it, go from there. All right, so now we've got our product in. We filled up our box with some urea. We did about 3,000 pounds. We're gonna do a 500 pound, a 500 pound, and a 1,000 pound test for this instance. Totally up to you. I just like double checking the work to make sure it turned out all right. So the first steps, once you got it over wherever you're gonna catch it with, in this case we got our pit, and we're gonna just load it back in and weigh it here at the facility. We're gonna come to the back, and you'll see a bottom and top. I like removing both. You just at least have to remove the bottom. So you're gonna pop off the bottom. If you need a step stool, please be cautious when doing this. And then the top, you just pop off these two and just pulls right out, okay? Then you'll see both of your chains on the back. What then goes there is as we go around to the left-hand side of the machine, sorry, we already took them off here. You'll see these hanging over top, okay? They'll just be hanging just like this. Pop the clip off, take it off. You'll see a couple notches on the top. We're looking for the pegs on each side. Just go ahead, come up here, slide it onto the pegs, and then just rest down. After that, everything will just slide down into whatever your catch is. After this, we'll charge the belt up in the cab, do a couple things up in the cab, so join us up there. All right, so now we're up in the cab. The first thing you'll notice is we are in a model year 25 machine, so we have the G5 displays. If you have a Gen 4 display, it's the same process. It just looks a little bit different as far as the size of the screen. So what we're gonna start with is making sure we have our product set up correctly in our setup. In this case, we got our urea typed in. We're then gonna tap on this bin status right here where we got our pounds per acre. So on the lower half, you see it lit up there, tap there, and this will pull up your bin details page. So make sure we have our product right here in bin 1. There's our bin 2. We'll enable our bins if you haven't already. And then you'll see the CFR down here. So we did a measurement, product density measurement. Please be sure to do this with a tool. We got 48 pounds for our urea here at the facility. Then I just typed in an expected. This number can vary a little bit, but usually 0.3 for urea is a good place to start, and then that's where a couple calibrations will really hone in on what your CFR is. So what we'll do now is we'll go in, we'll hit the calibration. In the bottom left-hand corner, you will see whether or not you want to select bin 1 or bin 2. Just remember, bin 2 will be the top chain as it's the back one. It sits on top of the other chain. Otherwise, you got bin 1. That's your front bin. When you hit begin, you'll notice it'll have a full-on step-by-step. So in this case, fan's gotta be off, which is your hydraulic button down here on the armrest. We're gonna go to max idle. So down here we go max idle, right on the orange here. And then the top left is your hydraulics button. So we're gonna hit next. Before we hit the hydraulics button, we'll hit next. We're gonna do a desired weight of 500 pounds in this instance. We got our 48 pound density, an expected CFR. If that says 0, you can start with 0.3. It just kind of depends on how your gate opening is. This one was set for 1.5 inches. We're gonna start with 0.297 in this one. We'll hit next. It'll give you a be cautious warning. We'll accept. Now I'll say activate hydraulics. That says pump button down here, the top left. Then you'll see next illuminate. And the first thing it'll let you do is charge the belt. So now we'll hit our master. We'll let that belt charge. We got a couple of volunteers in the back that are gonna give me a thumbs up when we have product coming out and the belt's nice and charged. Then you'll hit the master off, and then we're gonna give it a second here. We're gonna dump it. If you caught it in something, you wanna make sure to dump it because we don't wanna weigh that amount, right? We wanna make sure we get rid of our charged amount. And we're back down to 0. Alrighty, and we just got our green light that we're back down to 0. So now you'll see perform catch test. Just gotta turn our master on again on the hydro handle, and it will start dispensing the product. you'll see it start counting up over on your right-hand side. So right now we're dumping into our catch. You'll notice now as we approach our final amount, it'll cut off and automatically go to the next screen. You'll see amount accumulated by the controller was 500 pounds. You can now take this and go and weigh it. Again, we did a pit, so we're just gonna send it up to the scale, and then we'll type in right where it says actual amount applied, we'll type in the amount. And so here we actually did come out to 500, so we'll type in 500, and then it will just keep our same. If we were to type in 520, it would adjust the CFR from 297, okay? So if we over applied, if this was 520, you would actually see the number go higher. You go up with the CFR to make the amount applied less, and vice versa, the number would go down to apply more. If you want to repeat the calibration from right here, we can go ahead and hit repeat calibration, and we go through the steps again. A couple things to note is if your scale can only go in 20-pound increments, try to get it as close as possible. If you want to go at lower pound amounts, if you only want to dump about 50 pounds, something like that, you can just be aware of the percentages as you go. So with that, that's how you do a CFR calibration for the 800R floater. This again is for the AB30 boom. Got any questions? Please give us a shout at Leading Edge Equipment, and we appreciate your business.